The first meeting of the Million Dollar Roundtable took place during the 1927 National Association of Life Underwriters annual meeting in the Peabody Hotel, Memphis, Tennessee. Paul Clark presided over 32 members in attendance. He believed establishing a core group of NALU's best, men who sold at least $1 million worth of life insurance, would allow top producers to exchange ideas, encourage industry leaders to attend meetings, and inspire other producers. Some NALU members were concerned an elite group could be divisive, but Clark trusted it would serve as an incentive for all to produce more, not only for the good of the agents, but the industry and clients as well. In just over 2 hours, they agreed to establish a permanent association. George Lackey was appointed chairman with the power to select a committee tasked with structuring the organization. Even at the first meeting, the strong tradition of members sharing ideas was established. Some of the 38 ideas shared included: keep quiet when a prospect pauses to think, find a prospect's heartstring, and protect those interests connected with life insurance, such as a child, wife, business, etc., and promise to buy a rural fellow a fine new pair of pants if he'll sign up. Throughout the 1930s, despite the Great Depression, MDRT continued to grow, welcoming its first female member in 1928, as well as members from Canada, the United Kingdom, Australia, and Japan. Heading into the 1940s, the Roundtable would face disruptions from World War II. Two annual meetings were canceled in 1942 and 1945, but MDRT soon grew beyond its founder's vision. The decade saw many important developments in MDRT structure. The first was implementing the five-man executive committee in 1944, keeping the most recent chairman on an additional year to advise the new one. This allowed for a smoother transition and was so popular, the arrangement continues today. The second major change happened in 1946, when MDRT held its meeting in a location physically removed from the NALU meeting for the first time. There, attendees voted to change the Roundtable's bylaws to allow the executive committee to pick the time and place of each annual meeting. This move further cemented MDRT as an independent association. By the end of the 1940s, MDRT had grown to 790 members from its original 32. For years, the chairman handled all of MDRT's affairs from his personal office in his home city. This meant that each year, the office of MDRT followed the next chairman to his own locale, necessitating new space and equipment, as well as new staff to train. In his acceptance remarks as 1950 chairman, Theodore Whiting announced he would not follow suit, but instead centralize MDRT, establishing it in Chicago. MDRT took over Paul Cook's extra space he had rented during his 1949 MDRT administration. Whiting also retained Harriet Prince, who had previously worked part-time for Paul Cook on Roundtable affairs. She became MDRT's first paid employee. Located at 1 North LaSalle Street, the office remained there until 1974. The 1950s saw MDRT become a booming association. In 1957. That same year, MDRT filed for and received tax exemption as a 501c6 voluntary business association. For years, MDRT presidents' companies traditionally passed out gifts to members at each annual meeting. But in 1956, MDRT President Arthur Prevey asked that his company, Penn Mutual, give to a charitable cause instead. That act of caring marked the informal start of the MDRT Foundation. Formally chartered in 1959, the foundation has reflected the caring and generosity of MDRT and its members ever since, supporting charitable causes both local and global. At the 1962 annual meeting, the late Mortimer J. Adler encouraged members to nurture the different areas of their lives. He explained that the professional part of our life allows us to live, but the other dimensions allow us to live well. This became the basis for MDRT's whole person philosophy. The idea was as simple as it was revolutionary. Whole persons are engaged in a lifetime quest to achieve balance in all aspects of their lives: family, health, education, career, service, financial, and spiritual, and continually seek to develop their full human potential. This single idea has been a cornerstone of MDRT culture since then, and an important topic at annual meetings. Many members say it has changed their lives. In the early 1970s, MDRT unveiled a new level of membership for its very top performers. During the executive committee meeting in 1974, MDRT's leadership agreed admission to this tier would be granted to those meeting 4 times the MDRT qualifying production level. Though Top of the Table was formed in 1974 and announced in 1975, this group of super achievers didn't receive a formal name until MDRT's 50th anniversary in 1977. The first Top of the Table annual meeting was held that same year in Phoenix, Arizona, to an audience of 332, 75% of the 1970s saw MDRT's membership hit over 10,000, necessitating a city convention center to hold the annual meeting for the first time: Boston's Heinz Auditorium in 1976. Previously, the annual meeting predominantly took place in a single hotel or several closely situated ones. The practice of hosting the annual meeting in convention centers continues today, as the most popular of MDRT events regularly draws between 7,000 and 8,000 attendees. By the middle of the 1980s, a need for an intermediate achievement circle between qualifying MDRT membership and Top of the Table membership was identified. In 1985, MDRT welcomed its first Court of the Table members. As the 1980s closed out, MDRT had outgrown its offices in Des Plaines, Illinois, and needed a building of its own. In 1990, MDRT moved to its current location at 325 West Touhy Avenue in Park Ridge, Illinois. Today, MDRT is a thriving association of over 40,000 members, representing 76 nations and territories. MDRT membership connects the best and brightest in the financial services profession. Member benefits include career-enhancing education through MDRT's many programs, services, and products. World-class forums, including the annual meeting, Top of the Table annual meeting, and experience meeting for the exchange of life insurance and financial planning ideas. Motivation through an annual membership qualification and a culture in which members encourage one another to achieve their personal best. Personal development through MDRT's many volunteer leadership opportunities. All members have instant access to networking with other successful people, allowing them to share ideas and develop relationships with peers from around the world. In addition to member service, MDRT continues to look outward and serve the community. Since 1959, the MDRT Foundation has awarded more than $28 million in life-changing grants to charitable organizations worldwide. Foundation grants support social service agencies, education and advocacy programs, medical agencies, and many other causes committed to empowering people in need. With it, MDRT is recognized as the premier association of financial professionals. Its members demonstrate the founding principles of exceptional professional knowledge, strict ethical conduct, and outstanding client service. MDRT membership is recognized internationally as the standard of excellence in the life insurance and financial services business.
आवाज નથી આવતો મને.
Yes, Reenaben, you are online, please.
Yes.
Sales idea. Good morning. Good afternoon.
Reena Ben, you can start.
Yes. Good afternoon, friends. Myself, Reena Shah. I am from Mumbai. I am MCC member, Mumbai, India. Today, I am going to share one sales formula which myself I applied in my business, which I brought it from kitchen table to top of the table. So, friends, there is one formula that is called ask. Ask means ASK, wherein A stands for ask everywhere, ask anyone, or ask for bigger premium. If you, wherein S stands for uh, successful, means you show your people you are very successful, means keep your success very standard very high, and K stands for keep your targets and dreams very very high. So friends, A stands for means wherever you go, you are introduce yourself everywhere, means wherever you go to the garden, wherever you go to the birthday party, wherever you go to the marriage function, funerals, or wherever you're traveling, you introduce, you should not hesitate or be scared of your profession. You should love your profession and you should introduce yourself to everyone, because how we see the advertised thanda matlab coca cola, like that, there and there we are not going to buy, but there is a need of one product, we should remember the name. So that way you should ask. And then S stands for show the people you are very successful and keep your standards very high, like that. In that rich people does not have time, why just before talking only they just remember while your appearance, so dress and address while your achievements, while your appearance, while you're talking, and they see your visibility in your area and your reference. So I'll just give you one example. I went to the MDRT convention, uh, Orlando, and I put up this stories and my post in FB. So just by seeing that post, my many clients and ultra HNI clients approached me and congratulated me, and I got the very good business after that. So show your means आपको उसके जैसा बनना पड़ेगा, आपको पावरफुल बनना पड़ेगा, आपको रिच दिखना पड़ेगा, आपको आपका हाई स्टैंडर्ड मेंटेन करना पड़ेगा. जैसे गोल्ड बाजार में फुटपाथ पे नहीं बिकता है, वैसे ही गोल्ड शोरूम में बिकता है. तो यू आर अ गोल्ड, तो यू हैव टू show them you are a showroom. So be a hero of your field, and then keep your target very high. Like suppose I am doing MDRT right now, we are doing MDRT or whatever we are doing, we are happy, but we should not be satisfied, we should keep our target very very high. I kept my target 5 years before. I have kept my vision board to keep, because I went to MDRT convention, I picked up one idea from TOT agent, MDRT agent. Their status is so high, so I visualized one time that I should be TOT. So that time I visualized and I kept my target very high. So I worked hard. We worked hard. We worked as very smart, and we kept our targets. So no chance of negativity, no chance of any other thing. So and that kept me doing hard work. So that is your ड्रीम बिग. सपने ऐसे देखो जो आपको सोने ना दे, सपने ऐसे मत देखो जो आपको रात को आए. So that way it is ask, ask and ask. So friends, I want to conclude with a very great Hindi saying which my guru says, always says, मांगने से मिलता है, बोलने से बिकता है और सोचने से होता है. Let me say it in English. If you ask, you will get it. If you speak, it will be sold. If you think, you can achieve it. So ask, ask and ask. Love your profession, love your business, love the people, love your job. Thank you so very much. Over to you, sir, Mr. Anil Keshwan, sir. કેટલી વાત થઈ?
Today, I am going to discuss a powerful strategy for post-lockdown business. MDRT प्लेटफॉर्म से पता चला सारी दुनिया में इंश्योरेंस इंडस्ट्री को एसेट मैनेजमेंट इंडस्ट्री के दृष्टि से देखा जाता है. फ्रेंड्स, हम दो तरीके से बिजनेस करते हैं. पहला, क्रिएटिंग ए नीड और आइडेंटिफाइंग ए गोल. दूसरा, फाइनेंशियल प्लानिंग टू अचीव दैट गोल. चाहे वो चाइल्ड एजुकेशन हो, रिटायरमेंट प्लानिंग हो, एस्टेट प्लानिंग हो या वेल्थ क्रिएशन हो, हमारे पास सबसे स्ट्रॉन्ग टूल है HLV, ह्यूमन लाइफ वैल्यू. परंतु इस वैश्विक महामारी के कारण नेचुरल कैलेमिटीज लाइक स्टॉर्म, मास एक्सीडेंटल ट्रेजेडी के कारण हमारे क्लाइंट्स को दो बातों का एहसास हुआ है. पहला, वैल्यू ऑफ लाइफ. दूसरा, नीड टू सिक्योर इनकम एंड इंपॉर्टेंस. अब हमें किस स्ट्रैटेजी पे काम करना है, इस पर हम चर्चा करेंगे. हमें फॉलो करना है इंश्योरेंस सॉल्यूशन विद 100% research on current experience of the clients for further need. Implementation is very easy. Number one, every time when you plan a solution, we have to think from the customer's chair. Number two, more and more customer feedback to give solution to the requirement. Friends, it is a very small idea, but a powerful idea, which will help you for better business and satisfaction to serve the humanity. Thank you, and over to Sudhakar Gabriel.
Thank you. So let me introduce about MDRT MCC India. We at MDRT MCC India thank all the participants for joining for the 5th session of the MDRT Motivational series. It is your participation, friends, that encourages us to volunteer to host more such events for you. Since this is a virtual session, at times you may experience the voice of the speaker a bit low, or you may have some technical issues in connecting during the session. Unfortunately, we will not be able to support you. We are extremely sorry about this, as it is out of our control. In case a PPT is being shared by the speaker and may take a few seconds to appear on the screen, for which we request you to kindly bear with us. We would take up questions at the end of this session. We have a team of volunteers who will pass on your questions to the speaker. Due to the paucity of time, all your questions may not be answered. Kindly bear with us for that. During this session, the speaker may request you to post your reply on the chat. Do use your chat box during that time. Do visit a wonderful resource called MDRT Resource Zone at mdrt.org. It has the most valuable data related to our life insurance business. There are podcasts, real life sales stories, best practices shared, interviews with top advisors. There is a lot of material that you can use actually for your social media, friends. How to register for blogs? Go to google.com, type MDRT blog and enter your email ID and subscribe to it. For non-members, you can also visit the MDRT site. Nearly 40% of the material that is there is available for non-members. The total material on the mdrt.org website is of 20 years of data. mdrt.org is an encyclopedia of the life insurance industry, as most of you would know. Do save the dates, August 3rd to August 7th, for the virtual meeting of MDRT. It's just for USD 149. You can write to us on indiamccmember@gmail.com. indiamccmember@gmail.com in case you need any more information on this event. Now, let me introduce to you today's speaker. Gaurav Bhagat is simply a problem solver who gets things done. He's a very successful entrepreneur who started his first company at the age of 19 from home and alone. Yes, home alone. Consortium Gifts, it was called, with rupees 10,000 drawn on a credit card, and has taken this company to have 7 offices in India and nearly 100 employees. He now runs multiple companies and does what he does with his why of the future, that is, of having 1,000 happy employees across 7 countries and 13 cities, and he has a date, 2nd of February 2022. What brings Gaurav here today amongst us, friends, though it's not for the company which I mentioned, but for which he has been making waves recently, that is sales training, and in particular, sales for the insurance industry. He runs a very successful sales training and coaching company and is the sole licensee in India for Grant Cardone, the world's #1 sales trainer. In the lockdown itself, GBA has trained thousands on their webinar and talks. The GBA aims to help 1 lakh business owner create 100 jobs each and help 9 lakh working professional lead the 10x life. The 10x life is an important concept which he'll be sharing with us today. He's also a director consultant in BNI Gurgaon. He is supporting as many as 400 members across 5 chapters in being the best version of themselves. Also, as the regional education coordinator and sought after trainer at BNI, his insights and ability to see the angles, the gaps, and a way to address them efficiently has been termed as unbelievably efficient. Amazing. And he's also the only Indian member of the Global Gifting Consortia, IGC Global Promotion, and serves on the Knowledge Management Committee of IGC, helping this billion-dollar organization with strategy and knowledge programs. Occasionally, you'll find Gaurav pursuing his childhood passion of golf at his home course on the Delhi Golf Course. He's a student of Lawrence School, Sanava. He lives with his lovely wife and 2 children in Noida. Now, Gaurav is the go-to guy for so many, and the influence and magic only grows with each passing day, owing much of what he is to the spirit of never give in and do what you do best, and the rest will follow. He is one person who always makes time for those of us who are willing to be a better version of ourselves and believe that success is our duty, and together we will make it happen. Over to Gaurav Bhagat.
Thank you so much, Sudhakar. I truly appreciate that lovely introduction. And thank you, MDRT, MCC India, for finding me worthy enough and bringing me on to this lovely forum. And it is an honor and a pleasure to be here amongst all of you today. So we have a very exciting session, a very exciting 70 minutes with me, followed by Q&A. So it is going to be absolutely fantastic. So first of all, namaste, and it's great to be here. और आज इंग्लिश में भी बात होगी और हिंदी में भी बात होगी. So irrespective of where you come in from, we're going to mix it up and I am going to give you some amazing value. So with that said, I am now going to share my PPT screen, and this should be visible for all of you to see. And of course, as Sudhakar mentioned, there will be times where I will be asking for comments and feedback and even some thoughts. So please do type out in the chat box. And yes, I am called as the 10x guy in India. So to start out, type out in the chat box 10x if you are ready for me to go and start this session. So let's see those 10x's coming in your chat boxes. Awesome. Okay, now with that said, how many of you feel, आप में से कितनों को लगता है कि these are unprecedented times? I mean, after all, you know, we are in the midst of a global crisis. And how many of you feel that पिछले 60-70 दिन से सिर्फ bad news ही bad news, all we're getting is bad news that has been coming our way in the last 70 days. I mean, newspaper खोलने से, okay, डर लगता है. मतलब मैंने तो newspaper रख ही दिया साइड पे, आजकल मैं खोलता भी नहीं, because all you get in the news is bad news, right? And that really has become extremely frustrating, right? Because after all, the COVID crisis is crazy. I mean, this is a screenshot I took yesterday. 6.6 million people, that's 66 lakh people have now been affected. And it has just been madness in the last 70 days, right? Some grim facts and statistics. 100 million people in India could possibly lose their jobs. 100 million. Crazy numbers, right? Education. How many of us have children who have been stuck at home? Schools had been closed because they were stuck at home. Type in me if you've had children or known of children who are stuck at home. 1.38 billion children were stuck at home during this time. Growth. Okay, Moody's came out with this story where they said India's economy could be growing at zero. The RBI governor came out like 10 days back and he said we will have negative growth. For the first time in 40 years, India is looking at negative growth. So truly, 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 these are and have been crazy times. Everyone is looking at the government and they're saying, Sarkar hamare liye kya kar sakta hai? Well, the government has tried, right? There is only that much that the government can also do. And I always believe the government is there to support us, but if something has to be done, it is up to us. That is what we're looking to achieve today. The next 6 to 12 months, अगले 6 से 12 महीने भाई और बहनों, मतलब फ्लैट सेल्स तो आप भूल जाओ, आपकी सेल्स ऐसे लगेंगी कि मतलब जमीन के अंदर ही घुस चुकी हैं. I mean, April was a write-off, May was a write-off, June we are now starting to come back, but it will take time. So the next 6 to 12 months will surely test us and will test our clients and everyone else that we know in the ecosystem. And the insurance industry and the financial professionals community, because I have many friends amongst you. I have many friends who are in the MDRT. I know that you are facing problems as it is. दिक्कतें तो पहले से ही थी. Compliance का burden बढ़ रहा था. The compliance burden was going up. Deal flow was going down, right? Less and less deals were happening. Competition from the online space. It is the new reality. There is competition from the online space, and that competition from the online space was also growing. Rising costs. Our costs are going up. Our margins are down. मतलब margin हमारा कम हो रहा था. And basically it became extremely frustrating to say, hey, what is happening? Objections are going higher and higher. Matlab, earlier on, if you were facing 6 objections, now we are having to face 10, 12, 15 objections. Even the number of objections were going up from our customers. And not having a team and not having a strategy to scale, these were some of the really, really big problems that the industry was facing as it is. And how are people responding? In the last 60, 70 days, I have worked with thousands of working professionals and business owners. And I was able to summarize how they are basically feeling and responding. Kuch log the fearful, matlab dare hue the. They actually didn't know what the future held, so they were scared. You had one bunch who said that chalo jo bhi hua, acha hua, you know, the environment is getting cleaner, the world is getting cleaner, there is a better world that I will go to. So they were hopeful. Then you had one bunch, especially the younger lot, the teenagers, matlab pag chuke the, but they were just now so, you know, tired that they had become indifferent. They're like, you know, good news is coming one day, bad news is coming one day. So they had totally become indifferent, right? They said, I don't care, boss. Jo hoga, so hoga. The fourth set of people were people who were the fatalists. They're like, boss, sab khatam ho chuka hai. They had thrown in the towel. They're saying everything is over. The fifth set were the pragmatic, who said that, chalo theek hai na, ye nahi reality hai. Mask pehen ke jana hai, to mask pehen ke jayenge. Social distancing karni hai, to social distancing karenge. This is the new normal. And if that is what we have to do, that is what we will do. And then you had the sixth set, which was the innovators. And these people, truly, the COVID crisis now, dimag ke andar actually batti jal gayi. Jaise like he's holding the bulb in his hand, the light bulb went off. And this person said, you know what? Maybe I've just been doing something wrong. Maybe I have to approach my business differently. Maybe I have to do something different, something that has not been done before. And this category I call the innovators. So for all of you who are here, and I know we have a fantastic large number, thank you all for coming. Type in your chat boxes. What is your mindset right now? Fearful, hopeful, indifferent, fatalistic, pragmatic, or the one of innovators? Type in the chat box, and I would love to see your answers. Okay. How many of you feel that through a crisis can emerge a better version of you? And not only this crisis, but any crisis in the past. There have been crises, but if we get out of our comfort zone, there is opportunity. And I believe, and I'm sure so many of you here also believe, that even through this, there will emerge a better version of you, or is situation can there be aage opportunity hai. Because irrespective of how bad things have been, बुरे वक्त जो है ना वो हमेशा खत्म होते हैं और अच्छे वक्त जो है ना वो हमेशा आते हैं. So the good times always return. What you need is these 4 things. You need patience, you need persistence, you need some core skills, and you need a bit of luck. And I know this is what you tell all your clients and all your customers. You need patience. We must practice patience. We must have persistence, continuous action, some core skills, and a bit of luck. probably, I'm saying probably the turnaround has already begun. Maybe. Last night, I was following the Dow Jones, and I'm sure the same is going to happen in the Nifty. They were talking about V-shaped recovery. Nahi ho sakti? Well, for me, that chart on the screen, ladies and gentlemen, is looking quite a lot like a V-shaped recovery. Right? I'm sure when the markets open here on Monday, the same is going to happen, and your clients will probably pick up the phone and calling you and saying, "Boss, let's get started. Let's get our money in the market. We have been sleeping. Like, let's get all those things going." So all those things probably, I'm saying probably, have already begun. So what are we covering in the next 70 minutes? One is recognizing what the future holds and the 4 areas that you need to focus on immediately. And immediately matlab aaj hi. Monday nahi, aaj hi. Matlab ye webinar aaj khatam hoga 5:30 baje. 5:30 baje aapko ye 4 cheez utha ke action lena hai. Right? Secondly, how you need to serve your customers, not sell your customers in the coming months and beyond. Trust me, I am a sales professional. I have been selling since I was 6 years old. I have been training thousands, not only in India, but around the world. The time now is not to sell your customer. The time now is to serve your customer. And then, of course, we will do question and answers. We will try and take as many question and answers. I love answering questions. So, jo bhi aapka question hai, aap chat box mein dalenge, and we'll see how many we can cover. That's going to be the agenda. So, who is this webinar meant for? I know there are more than 20 or 30, maybe even 40,000 people who will be watching this. Who is this webinar meant for? So one, it's meant for anyone who has lots of experience in insurance and financial services space and is looking to scale, okay, at the same time dominate the competition in the post-COVID world. The post-COVID world, ladies and gentlemen, bhai aur behno, aane wala hai, and we have to work towards dominating that world. We will work on that. Anyone who has had some experience in the insurance and financial services space, okay, still finding their feet. Anyone who has thought that I need to start out in the financial services space, this is meant even for them. And lastly, if you're here to see if your consultants are doing a good job, it is meant for you as well. So this has a very, very vast scope, and I'm glad, I'm happy that all of you have taken out time today and have joined on this webinar. So the post-COVID world, in my mind, the post-COVID world, okay, will be cleaner. If you agree, type in agree. The post-COVID world will be more competitive. ठीक है, थोड़ा बहुत competition होगा, but boss, competition हमें और अच्छा बनाता है. Competition is good. Competition is never bad. It makes us a better version of ourselves. I have always believed that. The post-COVID world will be very different. Things will change, no doubt. But I also believe that इस world के अंदर जितनी opportunities आने वाली है ना, that will also be unparalleled. So truly, I believe that there will be a golden era in the world that we're entering. Of course, my introduction was given, but very quickly, problem solver. You give me a problem, I love to solve it. I'm an entrepreneur, I run multiple companies. I am a coach and sales trainer at heart. That's what I've been doing. I'm a public speaker. And of course, I'm an author, and my book is coming out shortly as well. The objectives today are fourfold. We have 4 objectives today. One, help you recognize some of the challenges that are coming your way. कौन सी challenges आने वाले हैं और क्या आपको करना है? Let you know how to defend and then grow your market share. Okay, we have to look at expansion, not contraction. We are not going to talk about क्या कम होना है. Boss, grow करना है. Growth and 10xing is our only objective. Give you innovative ways to stand out above the competition and help you sell like the best on the planet. The best on the planet, nothing short of that. Right? I love what Reena Behan said today. She gave such a good story. Ask, right? We'll even speak about some of that. I just loved it. Thank you, Reena Behan, for sharing that. So a lot of what I've done over the years, okay, right from the time when I was 19 years old, it's happened because a lot of things. I've had a lot of things working for me. But अगर आप देखेंगे एक चीज repeat होते रहती है, and वो है sales. Because I have always believed that sales is the one thing that moves the needle forward. Sales is the one thing that if you focus on, everything else will be okay. And if you agree, type out agree in the chat box. So sales is absolutely paramount. Majority of people today, मतलब क्या उनका mindset है? अभी वो डरे हुए हैं. It's just like the picture. The head is down, the shoulders have drooped, energy खत्म हो चुकी है. They're scared, they're frustrated. मतलब उनको समझ नहीं आ रहा कि आगे क्या होने वाला है. What do we do? They have no plan, right? They are playing defensive. अगर जैसे आप एक boxing match के अंदर है, your hands are up and up, मुक्के मार रहे हैं, मतलब एक साइड से कोविड मार रही है, एक साइड से क्लाइंट मार रही है, एक साइड से इंडस्ट्री मार रही है, एक साइड से इकोनॉमी मार रही है, मतलब सब जगह से बस मुक्के लग रहे हैं. And all you're doing is you got your hands up and you're just in preservation mode. 95% of people are playing defense right now. Only 5% of people are playing offense. ये 5% सोच रहा है कि boss, the world is my oyster. What do I have to do? How can I even at this time build my skills? How can I come on these amazing MDRT, MCC kind of webinars, learn new skills which I can go out and practice not Monday, but tonight. I am going to pick up the phone and I am going to start reaching out to my clients tonight based on what I learned. That is what, ladies and gentlemen, the offensive players are thinking. They're thinking of new products. They're thinking of new teams. They're thinking of processes. They're thinking of growth and expansion. And economy turn hogi hi hogi. और जब इकोनॉमी टर्न होगी तो जो 5% आज सोच रहे हैं अग्रेशन एंड एक्सपेंशन, दे विल बी ऑन अ रॉकेट एंड दे विल बी टेकिंग ऑफ, एंड रिमेनिंग 95% वो बॉस अपना बक्सा लेकर पीछे भाग रहे होंगे. So I want everyone who's here today to be thinking expansion and not contraction. The whole world is thinking contraction. This is not the time to be thinking defense. This is the time to be thinking offense. Right? When the market turns, in most cases, the defensive players will be like those dinosaurs over there. If जो comet आपकी screen पे आ रहा है, if that comet was Corona, right? All the people who did nothing and just waited and they said, चलो जब ये खत्म होगा, जब lockdown खुलेगा, तब देखेंगे. Boss, it will be too late. It will be too late. Everything will be finished. You need to be thinking expansion right now. Many of you already are. You have to live your life following what I call the 95-5 rule. And जो भी आज notes ले रहे हैं, कुछ ऐसे points हैं जो आपको लिखना ही लिखना है. One of them is the 95-5 rule. That 95% of your time, 95% of your actions, 95% of your thoughts, and everything else should focus on making money and income. 95%. Okay, and only 5% of your time should be focused on expenses. और अभी लोग उल्टा चल रहे हैं. अभी पूरा का यही है कि बॉस मतलब कैसे काटे, कहां काटे, क्या करें. So 95-5 rule of income is 95% of your time, your actions, your energy, everything should be focused on income, right? And only 5% on expenses. But yet think about it. As I said, everyone is thinking, अरे expenses कैसे काटें, क्या करें, मतलब अब तो सब खत्म ही हो गया है. बॉस अगर आप सोचोगे सब खत्म हो गया तो खत्म ही हो जाएगा. We can't have that mindset, right? People are thinking less and less on what I see in my screen, and that is making more money. If you like making more money, if you like making more money for your clients, type in like it, love it, right? Type in whatever comes to your mind when you think of money, type it into your screens right now. Because the more action and the more things I see from you, the more energy you get from me. Yes, even more energy than what I'm giving you right now. But कोई नहीं बताता आपको, कोई नहीं बोलता कि बॉस आपको भाई अभी मतलब expansion mindset करना चाहिए. Accountant बोलेगा सर खर्चे काटो, right? Accountant business नहीं बनाता. You all grow businesses. Accountants don't grow businesses. The media will tell you, अरे economy is so bad, boss newspaper तो side पे रख दिया, media तो हम देखते ही नहीं. Right? So we really need to shut out the noise, close your ears and say, I have my goals. These are my goals for myself. These are my goals for my company. These are my goals for my clients. All of you have amazing clients. You have to have goals for those clients. And it's your job to see that through. If your mindset is not a positive and growing mindset, how will you help your customer? When your customer picks up the phone and says, Bhai, main to dara hua hu. Say, sir, don't worry. Everything is okay. We are on top of this. How many of you told your customers to buy shares and take up products between the 17th and the 21st of March? 2 thumbs up if you did, because you caught the bottom of this market, right? The best way to create income, ladies and gentlemen, the best way to grow your business is sales. And it is my job today to tell you about sales, right? Why is selling feared? लोग sales से डरते हैं. नहीं यार, sales तो नहीं होगा boss. मतलब किसी को आप बोलो कि sales की नौकरी करनी है, कब नहीं बोलेगा नहीं यार, कुछ भी दे दे यार, sales का काम मत दे यार. People are scared of sales. Why are you scared of sales? And then a whole bunch of reasons came. They said, oh, there is the fear of rejection. बड़े no सुनने पड़ते हैं. Yes. You have to get 6 no's for every yes. In the COVID time and the post-COVID time, you will probably get 12 no's for every yes. But that doesn't and shouldn't stop you. Sales is hard work. Yes, sales is hard work, but boss, sales makes you great money. Sales incentives and sales commissions are amazing. I have seen salespeople rise to the top of organizations across the board, because they're willing to put in the hard work. Hard work के बगैर कुछ नहीं होता. Some people say salespeople are sleazy. Boss, khatam, wo time khatam. There is no time left for sleazy salespeople. Now salespeople have to serve. Salespeople have to care. There is no time left for sleazy salespeople anymore. Some people say, you know, I got into sales. आप हो सकता है आप में से किसी ने Rocket Singh वो picture भी देखी होगी, where Ranbir Singh और कुछ नहीं मिला तो sales में घुस गया. Boss, if you don't do sales, your pockets will look like the pockets of that gentleman on the screen. They will be empty. You have to do sales, and you have to do sales correct. And it is my job today to not only give you an energy boost, but to also tell you how you can actually do this. So we all have fears, right? हम सब डरते हैं. If you all have fears, type in yes. We all have fears. कुछ ना कुछ fear तो होता है हमारे आगे. But like my friend says in the ad of Mountain Dew, डर के आगे जीत है, right? That's Hrithik Roshan. That's not me, just by the way. So accept and do something about it. ठीक है boss, मतलब डर के आगे जीत है, मतलब ठीक है, fears हैं, but we have to move forward. We have to take it ahead. Fear can be of two types, right? One, the COVID is coming, so sab chodo aur bhago, forget everything and run. That's one type of fear. And the second type of fear is face everything and rise. कि ठीक है boss, देखी जाएगी. जो भी हुआ सो हुआ. I need to move forward. I need to do it for my family. I need to do it for my company. I need to do it for my clients. I need to do this for the economy of this country and the world. I owe it to all of them. Yes, you can make that difference. Negative fear, okay, is fear that paralyzes you. मतलब आपको जंजीरों में बांध के खड़े रख देता है. क्या paralyze हो boss? कुछ भी नहीं कर सकते आप. That's negative fear. And then you have positive fear, which says, move forward, boss, motivate. This is not the time to be lying in bed and sleeping and saying, boss, अब खत्म हो गया. जब COVID जब हटेगा ना, तभी मैं बाहर निकलूंगा. Boss, not the time, not the time. This is the time to move forward. So type in the chat box right now, all of you who are here in such large numbers, type in the chat box, what business are you in? क्या करते हैं आप? क्या आपका business है? And I see answers coming in like insurance, financial planning, there's health, and there's life insurance and all of that. So I see all those answers. Okay. And when I ask people, what business are you in? They give exactly the same answers, right? Because there are salespeople that know everything about the product and they still struggle to get the close. आप सब लोग जितना आप अपने product और अपनी industry के बारे में जानते हो, कोई नहीं जानता होगा. Yet, why is the close still not coming? And there's one very, very important reason for that. One very, very simple thing. And I want you to write this down when this comes up on your screen as well. What is the difference between a contact and a contract? Type it out in the chat box right now. Just look at contact and look at contract and tell me what is the difference. And people look at it and look at it and look at it. And some will say, oh, a contact is a prospect and a contract is a converted sale. I'm like, boss, itna bhi mat socho. Just look at contact and contract. What is the difference between these two words that are on your screen right now? And yes, you're right. The difference is the letter R. Contact and contract. The difference is only the letter R. And that R stands for relationships. Abhi jo time aane wala hai, abhi jo time aa chuka hai, it is going to be all about that one thing called relationships. It all starts with that. The post-COVID world, the one thing that's going to matter the most is your relationships. Okay, that girl is not only pretty, but what she's also saying is a smart thing. Put the relationship before you put the sale. Sale aayegi, sale will come, but put the relationship first. This is the time to strengthen relationships with your current clients. Call them, pick up the phone, ask them how they are, what is really happening with them. Your past clients who are not buying from you, great time to reach out. Everyone is open to having a conversation, a call about how things are with them. Unsold clients, the clients you've never been able to sell till now, jo sirf aapke prospects hi reh gaye hain. And I will give you great material even for how to follow up with unsold clients. Orphan clients, I have so many friends in the insurance space who have used orphan clients. And orphan clients are those clients who are being serviced by someone else in your organization, but when that person left, then no one else was handling their accounts. Hence, almost like children without parents, that client was a client without a manager, right? A client without an account manager. So that's an orphan client. Great time to reach out to them as well. With your supply chain, with the companies that you represent, it is a great time to be reaching out to them. It is even a great time to be reaching out to bankers and making credit flow available and all those things. You need to strengthen relationships right now across the board with everyone. Like no one should you actually have a bad relationship with right now. You really right now need to focus on this thing called relationships. All of you are in the people business, okay? All of you are in the people business, not the insurance and financial services business. The 80-20 rule of relationships, and this is what I want you all to write down. The 80-20 rule of relationships is that selling is 80% about people and 20% about product or service. Put people first. In fact, 80-20, Pareto's principle, 80% people, 20% product. That is how you should be. So sales success principle number 1 is that focus on relationships first, product and service second. 80-20, boss. 80% people, 20% product. Now, very important concept, very important concept aaj ke time mein, which is going to be very important, is prospecting, right? Prospecting is going to be that one thing that should never stop. And if it has stopped, it has to start even with double energy. Boss, aap nahi rok sakte prospecting. बहुत important चीज होती है. And आप में से काफी लोग होंगे जिनने शायद ये कहानी भी पढ़ी होगी, Who Moved My Cheese. To me, that's just such a fantastic prospecting story. Sniff and Scurry, the two mice, right? They did not stop. I mean, they knew that cheese was depleting. They knew that cheese was finishing. So they went out and started looking for more cheese. Ho ko ye baat thodi late samajh aayi. Ho understood this a little later, but he still went out and he also started looking for cheese. Ham didn't. Ham just waited and he said, "Arey yaar, mere paas to cheese hai." And similarly, some of us do the same thing. We say, "Arey yaar, hamare paas to bahut client hai, saalon se client hai, 20 saal se client hai, meri pipeline to itni badi hai, mujhe tension hi nahi hai." And one day, some of those big clients go, and then you're like, "Ham ki tarah boss, bhagne ka time hai, nahi to band bajne wala hai." So you have to go out and continuously prospect and continuously looking to add new clients. It's absolutely amazing. It's absolutely essential. Make prospecting your number one activity every day. जब आप सुबह उठते हो, सबसे पहली चीज आपको करनी है वो है prospecting. It has to become your number one activity every day. And everyone that you know has to come aboard and help you. Never depend on the economy. Never say, अरे पता नहीं RBI क्या करेगा, government क्या करेगा. Boss, tension नहीं लेने का क्या? Right? Economy बनानी है तो अपनी economy बनानी है. Make your own economy. That's what you really have to do. This one thing alone will make you or break you, and that one thing, ladies and gentlemen, is prospecting. Know this, that everyone is a prospect, and until prospecting becomes a priority, it will not generate results. Creating a pipeline. You want a pipeline, you want to build that pipeline, and then you want to make that pipeline so big and thick that people will say, "Yaar, boss, matlab, karta kya hai yaar?" Right? How do you do it? What do you eat for breakfast? Tell me the secret. The secret is prospecting. So having a dedicated prospecting strategy can do miracles for your business, right? So which prospecting or strategy tool do you use? Type out in the chat box right now. I know some are putting in telephone and some are putting in email, some are putting in WhatsApp. Okay, as insurance professionals and the financial, professional community, don't you tell all your clients that please don't put all your eggs in one basket. कोई मुझे बोलता है, "बॉस, मैं तो सिर्फ BNI करता हूँ." कोई मुझे बोलता है, "मैं सिर्फ टेलीफोन पे करता हूँ." कोई बोलता है, "इंटरनेट पे ऐड डाल दिया जी, आते हैं." कोई बोलता है, "मैं सिर्फ रेफरल्स करता हूँ." You can't, right? As finance professionals, you're not telling your clients put everything into equity, right? You're saying, "Let's move into debt, let's move into equity, let's do a bit of gold, let's do a little bit of real estate." So you're trying to give them the whole ecosystem, right? You want to give them everything. So similarly in prospecting, you got to do referrals, which is great. I have a lot of respect for all referral organizations. You have to do social media, you have to pick up the phone, you have to do emails and advertising, client dinners, speaking engagements, all of this and more. And I will give you more and more tools, on this. So the first law of prospecting is the more desperate you get, the worse the result. Because जब आपके पास limited clients and you're waiting for that client call to come, you look like exactly like this person. अरे phone कब बजेगा? Sir का phone कब आएगा? When will we get that business? And then that desperation shows. And when that call doesn't come, then you're calling and you're saying, "Sir, what happened?" Or, "Ma'am, what happened?" The business hasn't come. So the more desperate you get, the worse the result. Either you will be shocked, you will be beaten down in price, or, you will just be under so much stress that you will make mistakes. The second law of prospecting, and this is something that's very, very important, कि जो prospecting आप आज करते हो, okay, and what you do between now and the next 30 days, the results will come in 60 to 90 days from now. When things were really good, when things were booming, when the market was booming, you did no prospecting. आपने कोई prospecting नहीं की, and because आपने prospecting नहीं की उस time, that is why आज drought है. There's a drought, अकाल है, like nothing's happening. We need to continuously prospect. Even when things are great, we need to continuously prospect. Prospecting is something that can never stop. The prospecting you do today will give you results 60 days from now. So it has to be a continuous cycle. And everyone on your team has to know this as well. Our economy was in a hole because people weren't prospecting. When times were good, people took it easy. They're like, "Arey yaar, abhi to matlab such good things are happening. Why do we need to work?" Sales slumps happen when people don't prospect. You have to prospect. The first rule of holes, right? You see this big hole. When you are in this hole, what should you do? Stop digging, right? Because you have no ladder, you have no rope. Agar aap dig karte rahoge, you'll just go deeper and deeper, and then you won't be able to get out of it. The first rule of sales slumps is if you're in one, you start prospecting. So prospecting is something that is extremely, extremely, extremely important, right? They say the harder I work, the luckier I get. I say the more you prospect, the luckier you get. So prospecting is something that is absolutely essential. And I will also give you the best place to find prospects. And you all have these things: incoming and outbound calls. With the calls that are coming in, the calls that you're making out, sold customers, which are customers that you already sold to, unsold customers, जो आपके pipeline में है और जो आप close नहीं कर पाए हैं. Outbound visits, when you go to visit someone, some people will ask in this time, how do you visit someone? Well, there's technology, and I'll tell you more about that in Q&A if someone has questions around that. Inbound visits, when people come and visit you. Websites, chatbots. I know many people in the space who don't have websites. I'm like, boss, landing page to bana lo yaar. Just a landing page which will direct people towards you. It costs nothing. Free mein bante hain virtually, right? And if you have websites, have chatbots where people can hear back from you. Don't fear online. Adopt, adapt, embrace. We're all on Zoom. We're all on YouTube. We have embraced technology, right? Before the lockdown, many of us did not even know what Zoom was. और आज अपनी फैमिली में 5-5 लोग हैं, सब Zoom पे लगे हुए हैं. So embrace technology. Don't fight it. It is the future. So social media, inbound and outbound, industry data, your companies give such great industry data. Use some of that. Email campaigns. Email is still one of the most powerful tools to prospect even today. And I would say more so today. And that came to me from Ryan Dice, who is the most powerful digital marketer in the world. He said, boss, आज जो email कर रहा है ना, no other platform is doing. Never disregard email. Often clients, we already spoke about that. Referrals, for all of you who are in BNI and other such forums, referrals from your existing clients, your competition's clients, right? Not the MDRT people who are on the webinar today, but the people who are not on the webinar. पकड़ो उनके clients को यार, क्या जा रहा है? People that you do business with, your suppliers. Why are your suppliers not buying insurance from you, right? My financial planner, I know I was buying, or he was buying products for me. And one day he's like, buddy, why are you not buying my products? And today he's my financial planner for me and my entire family. So someone that you do business with. Even complaining customers, even if someone is complaining means they're still interested. Complaining means they're giving you an opportunity to fix something, fix it, and move forward. So prospecting is not the same thing as selling. Okay, the person may not be a buyer, but they may know someone who is a buyer. Prospecting is getting out of obscurity. Prospecting is getting people to know that all of you people are amazing people in the MDRT and the financial services community. It is about telling the world about you. So go with the mindset of an opportunity to get to know about that person, their company, and they will ask you in return, and everything will go great from there. So some prospecting must haves. एक तो बहुत hunger होनी चाहिए, भूख होनी चाहिए. Because अगर भूख नहीं है ना, तो कुछ नहीं है. फिर तो आप सुनोगे, बोलोगे, हाँ यार गौरव आया, अच्छा बोला, he spoke well, and it was great webinar. But then what? So you have to have the hunger and the intent. You have to be able to get out of your comfort zone. A CRM tool, and there's so many CRM tools available. You must have that as well. You must have a prospecting routine. You must have what I call the prospecting matrix. I will come to that in the next one. And a mix of different strategies. Boss, not all your eggs in one basket. You have to have a mix. And this is the prospecting matrix. बहुत ही powerful matrix है ये. आप अपने clients को या अपने prospects को आप 4 में divide करेंगे. So you'll draw these 2 lines. You'll put it on the screen. Number 1 is those who are easy to deal with and are highly profitable. And yes, we have those clients. Number 2 are those who are hard to deal with but are still highly profitable. ठीक है, मतलब चिक ज़्यादा करता है या ज़्यादा करती है. But kamai hai, there is earning. So this is segment number 2. Number 3 is easy to deal with, but not very profitable. ठीक है, kamai nahi hai, but he's an easy person or she's an easy person to work with. And lastly, you have people who are hard to deal with and not very profitable. Tell me, how many of you have clients which are just so many clients in number 4 and they मतलब बजा देते हैं वो, right? Like they just mess you up in the head sometimes. So much of your energy is wasted there. If you have clients who are in the 4th category, type out number 4 in the chat box right now. Because what I recommend you should do is take those clients who are in number 4 and give them to your competition and start prospecting to get more companies in 1 and 2. You want more companies, more clients who are in 1 and 2. Take 4 and gift it to your competition. Your competitor will say, "Arey yaar, very nice. Thank you." So success principle number 2 is make prospecting a priority. Okay. Now, this is something that's very, very important. And this is something which Grant Cardone told me. Okay. And Grant Cardone is the world's #1 salesperson. He is my guru. He's the person who taught me. And he's the person who has taught millions around the world. And he said, sales is a contact sport. अगर कोई आपको पूछता है ना आप कौन सा स्पोर्ट खेलते हो तो हाँ बॉस मैं क्रिकेट भी खेलता हूँ मैं हॉकी भी खेलता हूँ मैं गोल्फ भी खेलता हूँ मैं फुटबॉल भी खेलता हूँ बट मैं सेल्स भी खेलता हूँ I wanted to play the game of sales. So write that down, that sales is a contact sport, and whoever makes the most contacts wins the most sales. Whoever makes the most contacts, whoever reaches out the most will win the most sales. That's just the rule that is. But does every sale close the first time? Type it on the chat box while I take a sip of water. Does every sale close the first time? Yeah, and I can see all those answers coming in. No, not every sale closes the first time. If every sale closed the first time, then you would never need sales training, right? Even for the best of the best, every sale does not close the first time. What you require is something called follow up. And follow up is the single best thing you can do for your business, short of spending $1 million in advertising. Boss, 7.5 crore अगर आपको advertising में खर्च करना है, उसको आप एक साइड कर दो and follow up एक साइड कर दो. Follow up is what it is all about. It's something that continues or completes a process or activity. It takes the prospect. आपने prospecting की है. Prospect को ये लेके जाता है from the sale, from being a prospect to becoming a customer. It's about seeing something all the way through, right? 20% of salespeople never follow up a prospect. 20%, right? Maybe you do it, but maybe there's someone in your organization who doesn't do it. You pass on a lead and saying, "यार देख लियो," and then पता चला कि कुछ follow up ही नहीं है. 65% of companies don't nurture leads. Leads come to them and they call once or twice and they say, "हाँ यार किया था phone नहीं हुआ कुछ." They don't nurture leads. Leads need to be nurtured. Leads need to be put into a funnel and taken forward. 25% of salespeople don't even make a second call. They're like, किया था phone नहीं उठाया, नहीं उन्होंने बोला अभी not interested, and boss file close करके रख दिया अलमारी में, देखेंगे आप 20-30 के अंदर. Can't happen like that. You can't do that, right? There is something called the 98-2 rule, and everyone who's taking notes today, please write down the 98-2 rule. And what the 98-2 rule states is, जब आप किसी को पहली बार contact करते हो और reach out करते हो, the chances of closing them is only 2%. 2%. The second time you reach out to them, it goes up by 3%. The third time that you reach out to them, it goes up by 5%. The fourth time that you reach out to them, it goes up by another 10%. 80% of all sales have not closed until you follow up between 5 and 12 times, sometimes even more. Yesterday, I had Shalini Bhatia, who was on a training with me. She's in the insurance space. She said she had to sometimes follow up 5 years. Like, I mean, standing ovation, Shalini, for that one. 5 years she followed up, right? And then she got her biggest client of her life. So follow up is essential, but there is also a way to follow up. So 98% will not buy from you on the first contact. These are the stats that I just mentioned. 2% first contact, 3% second contact, 5% third contact, 10% fourth contact. 80% of all sales are still on the table until you follow up 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, even 5 years. How hungry are you to follow up? And what is your system? So 80% of all sales are still on the table even till after the 5th contact. 80% of orders will close after the 5th, going to the 12th meeting, sometimes even more. You have to be the first person to follow up. When a lead comes to you, and if you are the first person to follow up, 50% more chances of getting that business. That's why we say, if you're not first, you're last. You have to be first. Speed is key. The greatest salespeople aren't professional talkers, they're professional stalkers. In one of my sales courses, I know this girl had come and, I asked her for introductions and I asked everyone for introductions. And I said, आप sales में क्यों आए? And she said, oh, जब से मैं छोटी थी ना, पापा बोलते हैं मैं बातें बहुत करती थी, तो इसलिए मैं sales में आ गई. So I'm like, that's great. I mean, it's good to be a talker, but what you need to be is a professional stalker. And listen to this segment so that I can explain more about that. 73% of sales leads are not sales ready. So only 27% of the people that come to you, are actually ready to buy. So don't be disappointed when they don't buy. Just follow up. The fortune, ladies and gentlemen, is in the follow up, right? Somebody told me the fortune lies in the FU. And I'm like, "Arey yaar, gali kyun de raha hai?" And he's like, "No, dude, follow up." I'm like, okay. So the fortune truly lies in the follow up, right? And what is your process? So I know a lot of you use phones and, WhatsApps and all of that. And eventually, the person just doesn't pick up your phone or stops responding to you. इनफैक्ट जब आपका फोन बजता होगा ना, तो आपकी क्लाइंट का रिएक्शन भी कुछ ऐसा ही होगा कि अरे यार फिर से इसका फोन, you can't see it, but that's probably what he or she is actually looking like at the moment when your call comes. I'm just saying it's possible. I'm not saying it happens. You have to have a great follow-up system, okay? And I will give you very quickly a follow-up system, that we have used very, very successfully. So this is step one. Right after you have met someone or reached out to someone for the first time, send them a WhatsApp and just say, hey, it was awesome talking to you or meeting with you. Please save my number. So when I call you next time, you will at least know who I am. So you send them a WhatsApp, and this should ideally happen on the same day when the meeting or the call actually happened. This is something you can do a few days later, where you write them a handwritten note and you send them a handwritten note and just saying, thank you for the time. I appreciate that, you took out that time. I am coming back to you with an amazing offer based on what you said. No one writes handwritten notes anymore. Boss matlab WhatsApp bhej denge, email kar denge, SMS kar denge, handwritten note, no one. It will immediately make you stand out from your competition. Technology, okay, today you got a lot of youngsters, a lot of working professionals, they're on their gadgets all the time. Pick up your phone, record a video and say, hey, thank you for the time. I am working on an amazing offer for you. I have an amazing offer coming for you. It is going to come shortly, and send it out as a video. Again, you will stand out. It is something that is not done by everyone. मतलब कुछ हटके है बॉस, वीडियो बना के भेजी. मतलब आज तक तो किसी इंश्योरेंस और फाइनेंशियल प्रोफेशनल ने नहीं भेजी मुझे. Sometimes if you know that this person is passionate about cricket, आप उनके ऑफिस गए और सब जगह cricket bats वगैरह पड़े हुए हैं, he's a cricket fan or a golf fan, send them an invite. IPL मतलब अभी इस साल नहीं आया, but अगले साल आएगा. IPL की 2 टिकटें भेज दो यार. They will appreciate it. Look at the biggest people in wealth management, the private bankers, the Citibank. मतलब कभी golf का invite भेज रहे हैं, कभी किसी मतलब they're saying go here, go there, go for this match, VIP boxes, opera tickets, movie tickets, बहुत सब कुछ होता है यार. आप क्यों नहीं कर रहे? This is brilliant. I've seen so many of my friends in the insurance space do this. They don't have the business, but they're saying, we're not doing business right now, but can I do something for you for free? Can I do a diagnostic of your policies? I don't want anything. I don't want your business. I just want to give you advice on what you can do with your portfolio. It's great, right? And there's so many more innovative ways of things that you can do for free. Offer that, and that could be an entry into the door. This is something that I loved. Right? आपके काफी clients होंगे, they must read magazines like Time or India Today or Business World or Business India. आप सिर्फ उस magazine का एक cover लो, get it scanned, take that picture, put it off LinkedIn or the internet, put it on that magazine, give it to any designer in Fiverr, a website called fiverr.com. मतलब $5 के अंदर आपके लिए काम हो जाएगा. You send it over there and you say, please, create this magazine for me. उसमें लिख दो Time, Man of the Year, Woman of the Year. Take a nice printout, frame it in a nice frame. Okay, and then put your logo and your company details and your name in the back of that frame and gift it to them. Amazing, amazing things have happened. I can't tell you more stories on this, but amazing things have happened with this alone. Right? Sometimes you can just give a free gift. I mean, there are so many great gifting companies. I'm not saying you got to go to that one, but there are so many great gifting companies, and you can just give them a small gift as a token, even if they haven't done any business. I was telling someone yesterday that boss जो लिफ्ट की आती है, अभी सबको मतलब लिफ्ट का बटन दबाने में परेशानी हो रही है. बॉस एक लिफ्ट की दे दो, 20 रुपए का खर्चा है. से आई केयर विद योर फैमिली, अच्छा से एक नोट दे के वो भेज दिया, 20 रुपए के अंदर your prospect becomes a potential customer. Why not? Follow them on LinkedIn, follow them on social media, right? They may not let you in on Facebook, but maybe they let you in on LinkedIn. Follow them on LinkedIn, post, when they're posting, say, sir, thank you, amazing, great insight. Amazing things happen by just following them on LinkedIn. You want to become visible, right? And follow-up cannot be just pick up the phone and keep calling them, sir, order, wo aapka proposal bheja tha, what happened? No, it has to be beyond that. It has to be beyond that. We have 32 steps and more, right? Someone I know, they just went and they sent 2 tickets of a movie, someone in the real estate space, 2 tickets of a movie to one particular person, a prospect. And next day the phone rang and, he's like, Hanji, and he's like, Hanji, bhai sahab, bhabhi ji aapse baat karengi. He said, bhabhi ji baat karengi? And Bhabhi ji is on the phone. Hanji, bhai sahab, आपका thank you बोलना था. 3 साल से भाई साहब मुझे पिक्चर के लिए नहीं लेके गए. आपकी टिकट आई तो भाई साहब ने बोला चलो पिक्चर पे चलते हैं. बड़ा अच्छा लगा. थैंक यू बोलने के लिए फोन किया. And then भाई साहब comes on the phone. He said, हाँ भाई साहब ऐसा करना, मंडे आ जाना, कुछ बात करनी है. And 2 movie tickets, an investment of 500 rupees, helped this guy close lakhs of business. Boss, 500 रुपए की investment यार, and लाखों का काम. I'm just saying it's innovative. Right? Sometimes you say, hey, I'm calling to apologize. And the person is like, why are you apologizing? I'm apologizing because I have not been able to close you. I've been following you for 6 months, 7 months, 8 months. The business is not coming. I just called to apologize. And the person will probably come and say, it's not you. It's me. Like, okay, the problem was that I was distracted. I was thinking about something else. Come over, let's do business. Apology contact. Person of influence. Again, amazing. So many of you are part of such amazing forums. Call in one of your key prospects and ask them to be a speaker at that forum. Ask them to be a, come to your BNI meetings, be a part of your gathering. And then they'll say, Arey yaar, I thought you were just, just another of those people, but you have this amazing network. You're different. Let's do some business together, right? Amazing things can happen there as well. 11 months have passed. 11 महीने से आप लगे हुए हो, तब भी ये prospect आपको धंधा नहीं दे रहा. Right? और फिर आपने उनको एक दिन phone किया and say, sir, can you, or ma'am, can you please give me a testimonial? And the person will say, testimonial for what? We haven't even done business together. Exactly. Testimonial for my follow-up. I've been following up with you so persistently. 11 महीने हो गए. Imagine when I actually have your business, how good will I be for you? And the person will think and say, wow, you know what? You're right. Come over. Let me give you some business. Innovative follow-up. And suppose 12 महीने हो गए, 1 year has passed and the business still hasn't come your way. What would you do? Type out in the chat box. 1 year from the day you met this person or called this person, the business still hasn't come to you. What would you do? Type out in the chat box. And I see happy birthdays and happy anniversaries. Yes. उनको आप फोन करो and बोलो happy birthday. 1 साल पहले मिले थे, अभी भी धंधा नहीं हुआ. आप बता दो यार क्या गलती हो गई यार. And the person would be like, 1 year? They're like, wow, like come over, man. Let's talk. Let's see what's gone wrong. So there are many things that you can do. You can recycle, you can redo, you can create newsletters, send newsletters, follow them on social media, comment, like, acknowledge, reshare their posts, give them, all that importance. Great things happen. Call them to wish them happy birthday. And they're like, it's not my birthday. Oh, it's not your birthday. When is your birthday? And then when they say June 16, June 16, call them on June 16, sir, happy birthday, or ma'am, happy birthday. And the person will say, thank you. So the list and the ways are endless. I mean, you should be using all these things. If you're taking a screenshot, take a screenshot now. बहुत कुछ हो सकता है, boss. It is not only phone, email, WhatsApp. Great ways are there of follow-up. The fortune truly lies in the follow-up. And I love this quote. This quote was so good that I said, boss, ये तो मैंने डालना ही डालना है. मेरा quote नहीं है. ये quote हजारों साल पहले लिखा गया था. It was written by the Buddha. And the Buddha, as we know, was a very wise man. So he said, also remember, in the battle between the stream and the rock, the stream always wins, not through strength, but through perseverance. So each and every one of you on this call today, you also have to persevere and go exactly the same way and be persistent and follow up with a system. Don't quit, just do it. Be so persistent that you should be the only choice. जब भी उस बंदे को और उस लड़की को वो financial product चाहिए, they should be thinking you and no one else. And that's why I say the greatest salespeople are not professional talkers. Sure, they're good talkers, but they are professional stalkers. But अगर आप stalk करेंगे, you will do it based on the template which I actually shared. Okay, so that is sales principle number 3, which is master follow-up. Okay, now I'm going to come to the final principle of today, and we'll hopefully wrap that up in 12 minutes, so we'll have time for Q&A after. So closing is the most important aspect in sales. The most important, boss. अगर आप close नहीं कर सकते ना, तो कुछ नहीं है. मतलब आप जितनी भी sales कर लो, जितने भी prospecting कर लो, सब कुछ कर लो, जितने भी effort कर लो, but if you can't close, then nothing happens. Everyone loses if you close. You lose. Your company loses. The company you represent loses. Your client loses because your client did not get what they want. The economy loses. The world loses. The world was losing because people were not closing. So closing is very, very important. It is just so important. This is where you stop selling and get the buyer to take action. Exchange something that they have for something you have. This is where it is about taking action. The close represents 100% of your income, but it is only 20% of the sales process. The full sales process. I mean, it's a 12-step process that starts from the attitude, goes to the greeting, goes all the way to the end. Okay, it's a 12-step process that we teach. Sales closing is 20% of that process, but it is 100% of your income. Because अगर आप close नहीं कर रहे, तो boss आपको कोई income नहीं मिल रही. If you agree, type out agree in the chat box and blow up the chat box with those agrees, because I want to see 27,500 agrees in the chat box right now. There is something called the 20-80 principle of closers. Okay, it's like the reverse of Pareto's 80-20 principle. That in an organization, in a company, you will have 20% of the people who get 80% of the sales. 20% of the sales people get 80% of the sales. And some bolte hain, boss, isme kya hai? Like, what does he or she eat for breakfast? What does he or she drink that they get all the sales? Ladies and gentlemen, they focus on the process, they focus on the relationships, they focus on the follow-up, they prospect, and they practice the closing. Very, very important. That is why they're doing it. If you can't close, you're dead. The 20% is never without work and definitely never without money. They always have things in their pipeline because they are closers. If you aren't closing, everyone is losing. Right now on your screens, take this finger and cover that C. Cover that C. Okay, I can see a lot of you. Cover that C. And what do you get? You get lose. Because if you're not closing, everyone is losing. The 7 requirements for the close. Now, these are 7 things that are very, very essential. We go over this a little quickly because we're a little short on time. You need the decision maker, right? You have to be talking to the decision maker. Or decision maker kaise dhoondte hain? There's a process in fact finding and all that, but you need to be talking to the right person. Second, this person should have the ability to buy, the wherewithal. If you are selling a BMW, okay, and this person is buying a Zen, I'm not saying that a person who driving the Zen, cannot move to a BMW, but maybe that person needs to be driving a Honda City first, before they jump onto a BMW. So if you're offering a BMW to someone who can only afford a Zen, there's a problem. You need to maybe expand the product mix. You need to be sold on the product. You should be convinced that this is the best product, and your client should be convinced that this is the best product. Sell only that what you are sold on. Okay, so be sold on the product. Believe in yourself. When you're walking to the meeting, say, boss, aaj to hangama hoga hi hoga. Matlab, aaj to closure hoga hi hoga. So believe in yourself. Have a written offer. I know so many people in the insurance space, especially MDRT space, perhaps, who don't give a proposal. They think my proposal will be shopped. Ladies and gentlemen, if you do not give a written offer, the person does not even know you exist. The business will go somewhere else. Everyone must be written up. There must be urgency in your close. You have to do something which is find the DBM, which is find the dominant buying motive, and then create emotional urgency and close. Insurance people are lovely at that. I love how you create urgency, right? You don't need training on that, but it's important. Have confidence in the product. Know that this plan that I'm offering, this product that I'm offering, this mutual fund that I'm offering, this service that I'm offering is the best. Feel it, and then they will feel it too. Why do people struggle in the close? They struggle because they're not committed. They're like, "Arey yaar, ho gaya to ho gaya, nahi to chalo kuch aur kar lenge." Right? You got to be committed. 100% commitment. Sometimes they don't have shortage. They don't have closing material. Right? They've never been trained in closing. Closing is an art. Right? They start believing price is the issue. Client bolta hai, price to bada zyada hai. And you start thinking, oh, price to bahut zyada hai. Price is not the issue. Price is way, way down. It's about lot many more things. Okay, that's about value. It's about trusting you, trusting the product, trusting the company that you represent. That is the true area, not price. You can't buy the customer story because customer बोला पैसे नहीं है, तो आपने बोला अरे यार अभी तो पैसे नहीं है. Right? If you walk away thinking that, okay, this person doesn't have money, that's buying the customer story. The customer needs to buy your story. You don't need to be buying their story. A lot of people don't have formal sales trainings. Many of you represent great companies, and I know companies invest in great sales people, great sales training, great sales methodologies. I know many of our clients in the insurance space have brought us in to help. It was great to go to Malaysia and work with 650 people while the MDRT event was happening. It was super. So they appreciated and they invested in their employees and their networks and everyone who was representing them. They invested in their training. That's awesome. Sometimes people are just unwilling to pressure. You have to be willing to pressure at the time of the close. If you have a great product or service, insist that you should get the order. This is not the time to be reducing price. This is not the time to be justifying price. All that is already done earlier on. Reasons closers fail: A, they never attempt to close. B, they perceive pressure as a bad thing. C, they have lack of belief in the product. D, they do not know the effort that is required. You need a lot of effort to get the results that you want. 10x effort, like 10x effort. 10 guna effort aapko chahiye against what you're thinking is what you actually have taken in reality. They're unable to handle rejection. They're like, "Arey, no bol dega phir." They're reasonable. You can't be reasonable. You have to insist a little bit. You're sold on this product. You know this is the right product. You have to push them and ask the hard questions. So close requires insistence. Close requires a push. 90% of your sales will require insistence. Rina Behan ne bola, ask. Absolutely, Rina Behan. She's absolutely right. She will be TOT without a doubt. I saw so much enthusiasm in her. She will become that level. She even has a vision board. 2 thumbs up on that as well, because that is super. Right? Insistence will never blow the sale. In fact, you should be asking these questions. Let's do this. What will it take to close the deal? Have you seen enough to make the decision? Use emotion to sell, use emotion at the early part, but at this point in negotiation and closing, use logic. Okay, you have to use logic to close the sale. Right? And a lot of times salespeople ulta chalte hain. Like this graph that you see on your screen right now. So in the beginning, okay, the buyer is high on emotion, but the seller is, you know, low on emotion. And as time goes by, when the seller sees that sale nahi ho rahi, by this time he's like emotional, like, sir, ma'am, please order de do, you know, bacche kya khayenge, you know, naukri chali jayegi. Now by this time the buyer was emotional here, but now the buyer has become logical. Now the buyer knows that acha ab to main maze leta hu. So start with emotion in the early part of the sale, but right now it is all about logic. Closing is all about logic. Very, very important. And once you learn to sell right, things will never be the same again. Okay. Really, 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 really agree with that. So some of my favorite closing statements. Okay. I'm just going to give you some of these closing statements really quickly. One is on a scale of 1 to 10, how do you rate your new, it could be policy, your new financial plan, your product, whatever it is, and what will it take to make it a 10? And now the person says, agar ye hota to 10 ho jata. Theek hai, let me see what I can do about it. I will work towards making that happen. Let's sign here and here. Always ask for that order, sign here and here. Sometimes people say, I need to talk to my spouse. So you say, I agree and you should. But if your wife or your husband is anything like mine, she never tells me no when I love something, and I never tell her no, let's do it. So there are a whole bunch of, you know, questions that are actually there and things and statements that you can use. Sometimes you should just reduce it to ridiculous. ठीक है, 30,000 रुपए की अगर premium है, but 30,000 rupees a month or 30,000 rupees a year is 1,000 rupees, you know, a day, or, you know, like 1,250 or 12,500. You break it down. So you say 30,000 rupees a month is only 1,000 rupees a day, right? You will live in this home, wake up in this home, sleep in this home, and basically it's yours for just 1,000 rupees a day. And some of your premiums could be as little as a few hundred rupees per day, right? 3 agreements. This is again a great closing technique where you say that, do you agree that this is the right product? And the person will say yes. Second, okay, do you agree that sooner or later you or your company will have to make this purchase? The person will think and say yes. Then you come up, do you agree that we have always serviced you and looked out for you? The person will say yes. Now you got 3 yeses. So this is a good. Now that you agree, let's go ahead and do this. So closing is an art, right? Sometimes you do something called a feel, felt, found. I appreciate how you feel. Mr. Saxena felt the same way. Unko bhi aisa hi laga. But when he found out that this is the best possible deal in the market, right, he said, let's go ahead and do this. So feel, I know how you feel. Someone else I know felt the same way until he found this. So feel, felt, found. It's a very, very powerful technique. And sometimes you can give a price guarantee. If you are so confident, you can say, agar aapko isse kabhi bhi kahin sasta mila to boss, matlab, I will cover the difference, or, you know, any of those things. You're giving a price guarantee. So in many, many ways, there are hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of closing statements. So in my experience, the 3 reasons why the person across the table is not buying from you. Number 1 is that they're not the decision maker. You've done something wrong in your fact-finding process. Number 2, they can't afford what you're offering. You're selling a Mercedes or a BMW to someone who can only afford a Zen. Right? Number 3, they're not sold on the value. Like something has gone wrong in your presentation and you have not been able to sell value. And I know all of you are master presenters. So just go ahead and ask. Like Reena Bhan said, ask, right? Just go ahead and ask. If they're not the decision maker, see who else is and how can they be brought into the process. Even asking and finding this out is an art. If they can't afford the product, see what you can do about it. Right? Can you offer them better terms? As a salesperson, I say it is your responsibility to take responsibility for the buying and the selling. ठीक है, आप बेच रहे हो, पर अगर उनके पास पैसा नहीं है, can you work out a special deal? Can you call in a finance company? Can you do something which is different to just make this actually happen? And use something called the rule of 3. I can't speak too much about the rule of 3, but it's an amazing, amazing technique. I will tell you really, really quickly because then I'm going to come to my wrap up. The rule of 3 is an amazing price technique, an amazing closing technique. Okay, amazing price busting tool. Everyone should use this. Last week, one of my clients in the insurance space, okay, went and closed a deal of 55 lakhs using only this tool. Okay, which is why I'm sure the MCC, the MDRT MCC will give me 2 minutes more to explain this. Because it is an amazing price busting tool. Okay, when you show someone a product or a service and they say, "Arey, nahi, mehenga hai, too expensive, I can't afford it." Normally what people do is that they either reduce their price or they show them a cheaper option. The rule of 3 states something quite different. Okay, when you move a customer down in price and offer something cheaper, the chances of closing the original sale have gone down even less. Instead, what you do is you move them up and you show them something even more expensive. And the person will be like, "Arey, matlab, what happened to you? मैं तो बोल रहा हूँ कि ये महंगा और तू और भी महंगी चीज दिखा रहा है." And then you come back and say, "I understand. I just want to show this to you because this is something that Mr. Adani or Mr. Ambani bought, and I respect you and I think you should be in the same category and everything else. I just want to show it to you. Then it's your choice." And then you show this particular product, and then the person like, "नहीं नहीं यार, ये तो बहुत महंगा है. I can't afford it." Then you show them option C, which is the cheapest of the offerings, what you would actually give them. And most of the time you will close original option B, जो बीच का option था, जो आपका original option था. And sometimes they might actually take A, B and C. They'll be like, "You know what, I think I will do A. My wife के लिए भी A कर दो, बच्चे के लिए B ले लेते हैं, और यार staff के लिए C ले लेते हैं." So what is actually happening is you're not exhausting your price, but you're exhausting your inventory. Let me give you a quick product example, okay? So we sell this pen. It's a carbon fiber pen. It's it's given out by BMW and all of that. It's a very nice gunmetal pen, and the price is 500 rupees. When we show it to someone, the client says 500 रुपए, boss बहुत महंगा है. We're like, अच्छा, no problem. But let me first show you something else. And we show them the Shantanu Nikhil, Baroque pen, which is like 1750 rupees. And the person is like, "Boss, 500 रुपए महंगा है, तू 1750 का दिखा रहा है, मतलब what have you had to drink today?" And we're like, I know it's higher, but I want to show it to you. And think, when you give this to your client, and your client, and we hand over the pen, picks up this pen and writes out a check to you with this, they will remember you for the rest of their life. And this person is thinking, and you're like, "Boss, matlab, kuch client hai to unko to main de sakta hu." And then you say, but since you want something cheaper, main aapko sasta pen dikhata hu, 110 rupaye mein black matte ball pen. And this person is like, "You know what? Let's do a mix. I want some in A category. I want some in B category. I want to do some in C category. Let's just do all three." So basically what the rule of three does is it exhausts your inventory, not your price or your margin. Super tool, boss. And people in your insurance space are using this and using it a lot. Okay, they're on my trainings and they've done it. So similarly, it can happen in services. There was a photographer. He came to the GBA. He said, "Boss, mere paas to sirf ek product hai. I can't do anything." So he actually went and figured out over 1 year how even he could actually expand his range. It took him a year to 3 products. And now his option B, he was a photographer, but his option B has become video. Now he goes and offers video, corporate, individual as option B. When people say, "Oh, it's really expensive," then he says, "Let me show you my option A." And that's the entire ecosystem, which has got the studio and the editing and shoot packages and stuff for Instagram and WhatsApp and this and that. And then he says, "But agar aapka budget nahi hai, tab option C kar dete hain," which is photography. So used, the rule of three in an amazing way. So irrespective of what you do, all of you who are here, all 27,000 of you who are here and the 40,000 that will watch later, there is a will, there is a way. Right? So try and do this today itself. Can you already use the rule of three in your company? Right? And if so, how many products can you use it for? And how many more products can you actually try it for? It's an amazing thing. I say try this out and try it out ASAP. Okay? So reason number 3 for not closing, and this is the big problem, that they have not seen value in what you offered. Agar aap unne value nahi dekha hai, so something has gone wrong in your sales process. Because if the price is higher and the value is lower, aapko sale nahi milegi. You will not get the sale. If the price and the value is the same, 50-50, boss, 50-50 also means zero. Nahi aane wala. What you need to do is present in a way that the value is higher, the price is lower, and then it will actually flow to you. So building value, very, very important. And if you aren't closing, my final principle for today is, if you aren't closing, everyone is losing. Sales, you know what, is an ocean. It's an ocean. I mean, there is just so much in sales and just so much that we can cover in 1 hour, 10 minutes. I've given you some important concepts, but if you take these 4 concepts and you start implementing it today, like right now, amazing things will happen. Amazing. And don't even wait till Monday. Boss, aaj, abhi, iske baad, 6 baje, uthao aur lag jao. Very, very important. And I told you, do you know who's taught me sales mastery? It's him, Grant Cardone. He's the best in the world. This is us together 3.5 months back. We were together. Number 1 sales guy in the world. He's the one who's taught me. Right? And he is my mentor. And he's taught me everything. He's taught me negotiations, objection handling, the RDRs, getting your price, selling on the phone, best fact-finding prices, DBM, discovery tools, right? He has taught me selling on the internet, why price is just a myth, using the rule of 3 like we just did, the 10X rule, the 4 levels of action, closing, top traits of the greats, and how you can implement all those traits in your work as well, how to build your brands, you stand out as the only option, digital presence and how to build it, the closer survival guide, and the secrets to closing more than you have ever closed before. So there is basically so much more. And of course, many of these modules had to be customized specifically for India. and taken to certain industries, especially the insurance industry, and the results have been mind-boggling. Matlab boss, truly, jab wo bolte hain 10x na 10x. So, that said, in case you'd like to know more, reach out to the MDRT India team. You have a fantastic team. They know how to reach me. So reach out to them, and through them, you can come to me. And my goal is to help a lot of people, and to help the MDRT community would be my honor, right? Once you learn to sell right, things will never, never, never be the same again. Mr. Dakar mentioned in the beginning, my why is to help 100,000 business owners create and add 100 jobs each, and help 900,000 working professionals live the 10x life, a life without limitations, by the 15th of May, 2025. I hope you found value in what I delivered today. I hope aapko acha laga. I always believe that when we look back at the summer of 2020, we will want to remember it as, yes, it was crazy, but again, we did some amazing things and we took some actions that changed our lives. All of you are coming on to these seminars, and these seminars will change your lives. I truly believe that. I thank you for all the time that you have actually given me today. And I really appreciate all of you listening in, and everyone else who will listen in later, right? Thank you so very much for that. A big thank you to the MDRT, MCC. Thank you, Ravi, Rahul, Manu, Mr. Dakar, everyone who's actually here and brought me on and gave me this platform to speak to all of you. I really, really appreciate the opportunity. And with that said, I will stop sharing my screen, and we will start taking some of your questions and answers. Your questions for my answers. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Gaurav sir. It was amazing and extraordinary talk. You have talked about, first of all, COVID. So there are two fears, and you have talked about prospecting. You have talked about a follow-up, and you have talked about closing technique. In that, I personally like the closing technique. In that follow-up technique, in that you have to send a testimonial for the follow-up. That is amazing and unique one. And one more I like is give a selfie video. This is never we have done. So this was a very good takeaway. And it was a closer technique also very, very fine. So thank you very much for your amazing speech. We hope to see you again. So there is a question from our side. Customer says there is no money. So how to overcome that?
Okay. So
how to close that?
Yeah. So thank you, Reena, and for that question. So, a lot of people are saying there is no money. There is a time right now where, money is not available and resources are tight. Quite to the contrary, what is happening right now is the amount of money that is truly being pumped into the economy, the amount of money which is being pumped in, by central banks, by the banks, and the loans that you can actually get right now is absolutely amazing. I mean, there's a tremendous amount of money that's coming in. Right now, perceptions are broken. Okay, right now everyone is saying, okay, there is no money, because they've seen, the stock markets crash, and they've seen, layoffs, and they've seen a whole bunch of, negative things happen. Perceptions will change also equally quickly. As soon as markets, start hitting new highs, as soon as economic sentiment starts increasing, that is when people will say, oh, what, now we need to jump onto this bandwagon. But what you need to tell your clients right now who are saying, abhi paisa nahi hai, you have to say, sir, ma'am, I understand this. Everyone is saying this, but there is a possibility that you can come up, with a little bit of money that we can make this deal, or this actually, move forward. Banks are today lending at as low as, I think, 7.5%, which is unparalleled. I have never seen. In fact, some banks even down to 6.5%. There are some MSME loans that are right now being offered as little as 0% for 6 months, and then payable after for 18 months at 8.5%. It's not the money is not there. Right now, the perception is broken. And as a salesperson, when I go in and say, oh, when someone tells me there is no money, I'm like, that's what everyone is saying, sir or ma'am. You are different, right? You have to be playing that expansion game right now. Okay. And if you see value in what I am offering, let's make something happen, and let's work towards taking this deal forward. So keep them interested. It's not that the money is not there. It's just that right now they're fearful. You have to continue to follow up. Okay. You have to continue to innovatively follow up, because whenever they are ready, I mean, they should be thinking that, okay, this is the first person that I need to go to. And if they don't have the money, can you do something that can make this deal actually happen? Is there a finance plan that can be offered to them? right? Is there, maybe a staggered payment option that can be offered to them? I mean, there's a lot that one can really do when it comes to handling something like a price objection or I don't have money objection. And you have to let them know that right now, okay, you're selling something which is very, very precious, like let's say insurance. What is more important to you? I mean, is it a few thousand rupees, or is it the lives of your family, which could potentially be at risk if, God forbid, something happens to you in this health crisis or something subsequently? Is it possible that you could just come up with a few thousand rupees, that's all I'm asking, to protect your life, and your family's lives and their future forever? So maybe right now they're thinking, okay, my money, the money's there. It's not that the money is not there. It's just that they haven't seen value in what you're offering. And they're thinking that, okay, this money has to be kept for a rainy day, or this money has to be kept for a contingency. They have the money. It's just your job as sales professionals to convince them to go out and get that money. So that would be my insight to you there, Reena.
So I like one very good technique which you have said, especially the closing technique. The closing start with the emotion, and closing should be with logic. Then only the closure will be there. One more question is there. Generally, post COVID-19, the clients avoid taking insurance due to loss of jobs and financial crisis. How to deal with this such, and please enlighten on the subject.
Right. Thank you very much, Anil, and thank you first, for appreciating the point on closing. So a lot of people I've been working with, a lot of clients I've been working with, they've again had similar, thoughts and perceptions in their mind. Again, like I'm saying, this is something, it's a temporary phenomena. I know it's unfortunate that we've had 6.6 million people infected amongst the world. I know that there are a lot of losses that have happened both to life and to jobs and businesses and all of that. It's unfortunate that that's really happened, but this soon will pass, right? Whatever has happened in these last 2-3 months, give it 3-4-5 months of consistent a turn in mindset and a growth of business. All of this will actually pass. But like I said before, you can't stop asking, you can't stop pursuing, you can't stop following up, and you can't stop pushing towards the close. So there will be a time where they will also realize that, okay, what, I truly need this. Because as people in the insurance community, we're all trained a lot on the fact that show the value of life, show the value of good health, right? I'm sure a lot of the companies that you represent and a lot of your companies will be willing to support you at this time as well. They will be able to support you with specialized products that have come out only in this occasion, for this time, until this mindset changes. And soon, as I said, the mindset will change, right? The newspapers will start writing, good things again. The pink papers will start saying, oh, Dow Jones is record high, and Dalal Street is a record high, and NSE has scaled new peaks, and every share is going through the roof. And then they'll be like, oh my God, I need to call my financial planners. I need to jump into this, and they will make that money come out. Right? I mean, it's possible it could be in the verge of, something that they had saved in terms of a contingency fund, and, and they might say, okay, this is the time now that I need to be putting it out there. So a lot of it is perception. And my belief is, and a lot of my clients that I've been working with, their belief is that things will change. Even going back to as early April, I was saying that this is going to turn. It's only a matter of time. Yes, they're scared, and yes, they are holding tight onto the purse strings right now. But when it changes, okay, you should be in a position that you should be the first person that they will reach out to, because when the purse strings, open, the first name that should come to their mind should be you to offer this product. So that is one, in terms of staying visible. But the second aspect is that just continuously, continue to build value, do your fact finding, find out what is most important to this particular person, this particular family, figure out how you can actually start taking the products that you offer in your presentation and make it available to them. Like I said, selling is about finding out, what can you use to create that emotional urgency for them to do this. If you don't insist, okay, if you don't push, and if you don't build that value, they will not do it. So as sales professionals, it is our job to follow a step-by-step path and process to find out what is important, and that's what they call fact finding, to present our offer with that builds emotional urgency to buy, and then and finally, negotiate. And there are a whole bunch of negotiation, techniques and tricks that we use as well. And finally move towards the close and say, you need to do this. So hence, that is the process, that I'd follow.
Very well said, sir. It was time is everything that you meant to say, and if we are positive, customer will be positive. So next a question from our side is, which tool is more useful for digital marketing and insurance sector? Can you please give some lights on it, sir?
Okay, thank you, Rina. That's a great question again. So it's very, very interesting. So it will also depend on what are the type of customers that you really like to work with. Now, they always say in the B2B space, LinkedIn is something where you have a lot of decision makers. In fact, I think last I heard there were 610 million people who were using LinkedIn as a profile, and 87% of decision makers were actually using a tool like LinkedIn. So LinkedIn is very, very important from the social, media space, and also being, visible. So very, very important. I had mentioned something about a landing page. So everyone, each and every one of you, if you don't have a website, at least research, something like a landing page. And what a landing page will do is it will bring someone, when they search on Google, it will bring them to your landing page. And then from there, will be your contact details. And, let's say even some of your handles, which they can click on and see a little bit more about you and reach out to you. So B2B, definitely LinkedIn. B2C space, what is becoming extremely popular right now? I mean, of course, Facebook's always been there and it's been growing, but also Instagram. And I think if you can create interesting infographics, and in the insurance community, you have such amazing infographics, right? You talk about, how your money over 30 years could go from here to there, even in the financial planning space, how your returns across 5 asset classes, and you will put gold, you will put equity, you will put, recurring deposit, maybe government bonds, and you'll create a really nice infographic and you'll put it out on Instagram, right? And people will look at it and they'll say, hey, this is cool. I like it. How can I get in touch with this person? So you can be very, very innovative using Instagram, and which is very, very important for the youth today. Today, where you've got, the millennials and the Gen Zs, which is, all our market of the future, they're very active on Instagram. So if you can make interesting infographics, put out interesting information, that would be great. So Instagram for the youth, LinkedIn for B2B, and of course B2C, because there are B2C decision makers, but it's more B2B, and even landing pages and interesting content. If you can put out interesting videos on YouTube, today, all of us are watching this on YouTube, right? There's 30, 40,000 of us on YouTube. Imagine, Rina, when you said that, I like the idea of, picking up my phone and making a video. Pick up the phone, okay, make a nice video and upload it on YouTube, and just send it out to your network on an email link. Say, hey, this is a new, email that I've created, a new video that I've created. Please click this link and, come on and see it. And then, your following grows on channels like YouTube. People start seeing you differently. Like I said, the idea is to come out of obscurity, to be not the best, but to be the best known. Okay, to be the best known is as important, if not more important, than being the best in your space. And once that happens, then once you have the attention, so the money goes where the attention flows. So how can you get attention? All of these things. So YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, whatever works for you. But I'll say start with one, but keep bringing in the others. That would be my advice.
Yes, one more question. Mm-hmm. How to make customers buy our story rather than we buy their story?
Okay, I love it. Thank you, Anil. And that's, of course, very much from the webinar itself. Okay, so buying your customer story, and what your customer is going to tell you right now is, arey paisa nahi hai, abhi to, budget nahi hai, abhi to I don't think it's the right time. Right now I have to save for this and this. So all of this is basically the customer story. And what you need to do is you need to start out in a very interesting methodology, very interesting technique that you have to use over here. One of them is called the first rule of selling. And the first rule of selling is that you always, always, always agree with the customer. So when the customer says something like this, you say, okay, Anil, I understand. I'm with you. These are difficult times, right? I see that this is the possibility, that, and this is what is really happening with you. So first thing is you sympathize, you listen, okay, and you acknowledge. So you start with the first rule of selling, which is always, always, always agree with the customer. And then, okay, then now you start making your pitch. And you said, Anil, I understand, I hear you. However, I feel that based on the position that you are in today, seeing your profile, seeing the insurance that you really have, and I loved how one particular insurance professional in particular used something when everyone was talking about the green zones and the orange zones and the red zones. He came out with this tool, and he said that people talk about COVID zone, आप अभी red zone में हो, यहाँ पे orange zone में हो. Anil, I see your coverage, I see your insurance coverage, right? Just like when you're scared, when you're in the red zone in a COVID zone, you are currently not insured enough. I see you in the red zone, and God, hopefully not, but if it shouldn't happen that something happens to you, God forbid, you being in the red zone is bad for you and bad for your family and your dependents. So hence what you do is you actually tell them your story, and you build your story, and you try and talk them out of the story that they have. You have to continuously ask them, is there any way I can make this deal happen? Like I said, on a scale of 1 to 10, what is really, where do you right now score this, and what is it going to take to make it a 10? So they come back and say, oh, if there was a payment plan, if there was a product that was maybe structured slightly differently, and then maybe you have to go back and look at your portfolio, your bouquet of what you have to offer, and then you actually say, okay, I'm coming back to you with a revised offer, a different plan, a different structure. So primarily listen, agree, isolate, acknowledge, and then move forward towards convincing them and taking them towards buying what is your story. And your story is about what is good for them right now. So that is really what you really need to be focusing on right now.
Yes, very good answer, sir. What is good for them, it is good for us. So listen, acknowledge. So there is one more question, sir. You are you're giving very good answers. With the India GDP going down, sir, initial market going down, how to handle NRIBs and convince NRI?
Okay, lovely. Thank you, Rina, for that question. And of course, I have a lot of NRI clients, customers, of course, even family. And they tend to wonder, where should the money be deployed? They will probably be raising money at very, very low interest rates. Currently in the US, interest rates are virtually zero, for some large, borrowers. And they might think that, hey, you know what? It is better for me to deploy my money in my country, and which could be the US, etc., and all of that. But remember this, that the India story may be hampered, but it is not over. Okay, to give an analogy, let's say अभी हम एक गाड़ी में चल रहे थे और गाड़ी का एक टायर पंक्चर हो गया, right? Only the tire is punctured. So hence we had to slow down, we had to pull over on the side, we had to take out the stepney, and we had to put that stepney on, take the other tire off, and then again put the tire in and get started again. My belief is the fact that India today is positioned in a fantastic place, right? The opportunity that we have, and everyone says, oh, the emerging middle class and our population and everything else. Rina and Anil and everyone else who is on this broadcast today, I still truly believe that the India story is intact. Okay, we still have a forward thinking establishment which is saying, okay, there is be Indian, buy Indian, Atmanirbhar, whatever you call it, the story is intact. Maybe right now there has just been a flat tire, but we will bounce back, and we will bounce back fast, and we will go. And because of the attractive, people cannot keep money in those markets in the bank. If your interest rate is heading towards zero, okay, if some of your bonds are paying zero or negative, that money has to flow towards emerging markets. For NRIs, it's great. I mean, there is so much that the government does and will continue to do and give them attractive swaps and options and offers. They know that, we need their money again. Why is India's Forex reserves at $483 billion? Why are the big boys seeing the picture And why are the smaller retail investors not seeing the picture? But at some point they will see the picture, and by that time it's already too late because everything has gone through the roof. So my belief is that the India story is intact. The only thing that has happened is there has been a hiccup, right? There has been a flat tire. That flat tire will be addressed and we will move forward. It is a great time for NRIs to come in now. The value they are getting for the dollar was 75 rupees 83 paisa. I believe that the rupee probably will not weaken any further. And there is just so much that the establishment and everyone else is doing to bring in that money, or will do to bring in that money. Do it before it's too late. That is what I would tell any NRI family member of mine. Okay, so Sudhakar, you have to unmute your audio. Yes, perfect.
Sorry about that. Okay. Before sharing my takeaways, Gaurav, I want to thank the following MDRT MCC office bearers: Manu Dhawan, our region chair; Venkat, our zone chair; Ravi Rajpal, our country chair; and of course, Indresh, Rahul, Nikhil, and team for all these motivational series. My personal takeaway is three things. One is strengthen the relationship across the board with clients, underwriters, company official, literally everyone. Second was, I love the way you brought the prospecting lesson from Who Moved My Cheese. And third, I have to live a 10x life. Thanks a million, Gaurav. Friends, fellow advisor, let's live a 10x life with MDRT. Thank you and see you next week.